Today I will briefly tell you about the reasons that led to the historical Russian Revolution of 1917, which determined the fate of Russia for the rest of the 20th century. In 1916, three-quarters of the population were formerly considered peasants, and after the abolition of serfdom in 1861, an improvement in their lives was expected. However, in practice, things were different. The nobility still owned most of the land in Russia, and peasants without their own land and housing were forced to work for the nobility. Despite the government providing loans to peasants to purchase land, most of them could not afford to pay the high interest rates. The defeat in the Russo-Japanese War of 1904 to 1905 further exacerbated the dissatisfaction of the population. The war ended in Russia's defeat, and many Russian military and civilian lives were lost. This intensified dissatisfaction and undermined the authorities of the Tsarist government. When Russia entered World War I, it was relatively underdeveloped compared to other war participants. However, over the last 20 years, it had experienced unprecedented industrial growth. In 1914, the army under the command of Nicholas II suffered one defeat after another. For example, in the Battle of Tannenberg, the Russian army was defeated, losing around 60,000 soldiers. As a result, the following year, Nicholas II took command of the army himself. The problem of the working class in Russia worsened with the abolition of serfdom. The working class began to grow rapidly, although it still did not constitute the majority of society. Due to the lack of land and job opportunities, former serfs began moving to cities. Industrial revolution in Russia started later than in other European countries, leading to low wages compared to Western Europe. Workers had no protection, and the government did not introduce even minimal regulations for industrialists. Child and female labor were commonplace, as well as workplace accidents. Workers were not insured, and labor unions in Russia only emerged after the 1905 revolution. Economic collapse. By the time of the revolution, the Russian economy was on the brink of collapse due to excessive spending on the war and mismanagement of resources. This economic crisis severely affected poor peasants and workers. By 1916, the Russian Empire was already facing food shortages, and strikes and protests began in cities. Discontent with the Tsarist regime grew, and Nicholas II tried to maintain the traditional order. However, as is well known, he failed in this endeavor. In 1905, Nicholas faced the First Russian Revolution, which began after Bloody Sunday, when during a strike between 100 to 800 people were killed. After this revolution, the Tsar was forced to make concessions, and during World War I, Nicholas demonstrated himself in a less favorable light by appointing his cousin as the army's commander-in-chief, who made, to put it mildly, less than optimal strategic decisions. That's it for now. Like this video if you like this format, and don't forget to subscribe to know more about Russian history. See you!